Hi everybody, how is it going? Today I want to discuss a concept that I want to be discussing in other videos too because it's very broad, and this is the concept of inertia. I first encountered inertia in physics class, of course, when I actually understood, I think, what it is. So it's just the tendency of a body to not change its speed in the terms of movement. Speed is not only how fast it's traveling, but in what direction it's traveling. So if you kind of change direction, as in making a curve, that requires energy, because you're fighting the tendency of the body to just keep on its route at the same speed. If you're making a circle, you're gonna need to invest energy to change that. If you're traveling slower, you're gonna need to pull the brakes, which is energy, resistance, or accelerate if you want to go faster. That all takes energy because you're fighting a resistance. So inertia is both the tendency to not change or the resistance to change. All right. I also found out that in electromagnetism there is a sort of inertia thing that if you change a sort of magnetic field by passing an electromagnetic something metallic bar, it will create a fighting electromagnetic field to kind of counteract that activity. Like all of those things happen in physics, in nature, as a normal thing, which is the resistance to changing its state most of the time. So something that I've also kind of seen in my own life is that also happens with human behavior and emotions. So I want to talk about human behavior now, because it's something that I really like, because it's useful and you can apply it. And especially inertia when it comes to tackling problems and getting into a more proactive state, right? So imagine that I'm just laying in bed, as most of you probably are now that watching this video, and you really know that you should be doing something else, like studying or building something or calling somebody or editing, whatever. The thing is that you may think that it's one problem that it's impossible to tackle, and so you get this kind of intimidation by the project that you have to tackle, and you're just laying there feeling like you're powerless and can't do it, and there's something that doesn't work. All right. What I want you to understand, and this happens to me, is that there's not only one problem, the intimidation, fear, problem of the equation. There's also another problem, which is inertia. That is a resistance for you to change your passive, resting, thinking state into a proactive action state, right? So what I would actually do in that situation is to change the approach. Instead of just going directly to the thing that kind of threatens me, I feel like it threatens me, I would go and first divide the problem in two. One is the how I'm afraid to tackle the problem, and the other one is how inertia is getting in the way, right, of me solving the problem, of me going and doing this thing. So what I'm first going to do is just solve the inertia problem. How? You use energy that you do have, all right, into changing your state into an active state. The key is you don't have to do it into the activity that you fear. You can do it in any other activity, right? With no negative consequences. So if you're just laying there, you can just say, oh, I'm gonna wash something, right? It's not something meant to distract you. You gotta be very aware of that. It's just to make you change your state. So it's gonna be likely very easy for you to change your state, the inertia state. If you're doing something, you're going to do something that you're not afraid of, that is not intimidating. So you go and just start doing something, writing something, drawing something, calling someone, just doing something that kind of needs to be done, but it's not the main thing and it's not frightening for you. So once you've got that, maybe, believe it or not, you now have changed your state from a passive to an active state. And now inertia is not something that resists your action, that is an obstacle, but now it's a propellant. Now it will help you, it'll push you towards the next challenge, which is just now going to the frightening, intimidating activity. But now it's much more easy because you're basically in a powerful state. You're in a state of action, and that action is helped by inertia. Inertia will help you because inertia is the resistance to change the state. And your state now is the state you want to be in to tackle the frightening activity. So I hope you kind of are able to wrap your mind about it, that we have a tendency to resist change, and that can be a negative thing if we're not in the state we want, but it can be a great thing if we are in the state we want. So we got to look at those things that change our state, or the easiest ways to change our state, so that that new change now allows us to take advantage of inertia, the tendency to keep in that state, now that good state, to do the activities and kind of face the challenges that we need the most energy for, right? And courage for. So that's about it. I would really like to talk about inertia and more emotional stuff and maybe social, big societal things. But of course, that'll be better for another video. At least you get the concept and how I kind of use it, and maybe you can use it for your life now that you have thought about it in many other ways. Alright, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and find it useful, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye bye.